Well, he did it. Chris Wondolowski, after scoring his second goal against my Chicago Fire this past weekend, Wondo set the MLS all-time goal-scoring record, 146 goals. And then he tacked on 2 more to get to 148. Yeah, 4 goals in one game. That's pretty good. But when one of those goals ties the all-time record and then the next one breaks the all-time record, well, I mean, that's better than just pretty good. Now, I know, he doesn't always score the prettiest goals. He is, after all, a poacher. And you know what? There is nothing wrong with that. Wondo is a master. He is the best in MLS history at getting in the right spot at the right time. Show Wondo's highlight reel to someone who doesn't play soccer, and they'll probably think they could do that. I think that's what makes him so special, because he does make it look so easy. Now, whether you love the guy or hate the guy, I just hope you can at least appreciate where he came from. Wondo is, for my money, the most unexpected star in MLS history. Coming out of high school, soccer wasn't even the sport that he was recruited for. No, he got more college letters for track and field. A side note, as a track athlete myself, I loved that he was a runner, but anyways, he chose soccer over track because that was his true passion. After playing Division II Chico State in California, Chris Wondolowski was drafted 41st overall in the MLS Supplemental Draft. That's the draft after the MLS Super Draft. So it's not just 40 people picked before him. No, it's 40 plus 48 from the Super Draft. Yeah, 88 people picked ahead of Chris Wondolowski. Rookie season, 2 appearances, 0 goals for San Jose. And then the team moves to Houston, and Wondo kills it on the reserve team. You know how much that sucks to dominate reserve teams, score a ton of goals, but because you have guys like Brian Ching and Dwayne DiRosario ahead of you, you just never really get your chance? And remember, MLS players, they don't make that much money. Not compared to some of the other professional sports leagues in this country. And in the mid-2000s, if you weren't a star in MLS, it was kinda tough. I found this out through the MLS documentary on Chris Wondolowski, Bo Die. His wife, who was a teacher, actually made more money than him. Disclaimer, this is not me bashing teachers. I think teachers should absolutely get paid more than what they make. I'm just pointing out that a teacher making more than a professional athlete, yeah, they weren't exactly rolling in dough. After 3+ seasons, Wondo was traded back to San Jose for Cam Weaver. Yeah, the Dynamo traded away the guy who would eventually break the all-time MLS record for most goals for a guy who ended up scoring 13 total MLS goals. But you know, at the time, it didn't actually seem that uneven of a trade. After all, Wondolowski only scored 4 MLS season goals in 3.5 years in Houston, and 3 goals in the first half of the season in San Jose in 2009. Who would have predicted that a guy with 7 goals in his first 5 seasons would set the MLS record? 2010 was his breakout year. 18 goals in 28 games, and a goal at Red Bull Arena in the Eastern Conference semifinal. Despite the Earthquakes regressing next year and missing the playoffs, Wondo showed that he wasn't just a flash in the pan. 16 goals the next year, and then 27 goals the year after that, 2012. At that time, 27, that was tied for the most goals in a single MLS season. And those 27 goals helped his team win the Supporters' Shield. Oh, and John Terry actually said this to Wondo at the 2012 All-Star Game.
It's incredible.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Nightmare for me.
Thank you.
Pretty cool compliment, if you ask me. 11 goals in 2013, 14 goals in 2014, 16 in 2015, 12 in 2016, 13 in 2017, 10 in 2018. After 7 goals in his first 5 seasons, Wondo then strung together 9 straight seasons of double-digit goals. But despite his numbers, not everyone will give Chris Wondolowski the respect he deserves. People will point to his lack of team success, and honestly, I don't hold that against him at all. think about it. He broke the record despite playing on only 3 playoff teams in his career, not counting his days with the Dynamo. His teams were, for the most part, complete dookie, and he still scored goals. And yet, he never complained publicly about his team sucking. He never asked for a trade. He just did the work. And clearly, he did it pretty well. And yeah, people will point to his infamous miss against Belgium in the 2014 World Cup. Yeah, Ryan, I told you I was putting this in. Hey, I get it. I was yelling at the TV too. I was mad too. This was a miss. It was a bad one. But why do we act like this was a simple tap-in? Does no one else see the keeper 2 feet away from his face? I mean, he can't hit it a crossbody. The keeper will save it. In fact, the way the keeper's coming out, he almost has to hit it like upper 90. Oh, but wait, can't he just lay it off to Dempsey? Do you see how close Clint Dempsey is? I mean, he's got to put a feather touch on that pass. And even then, Dempsey has to make a split-second reaction. Besides, if you're a striker and you get a ball over the top to the 6-yard box, I promise you, you're not thinking pass. It's a miss. Okay? He should have scored. But Belgium probably should have scored on one of their first million shots on goal in regulation. The U.S. was completely lucky to even be scoreless at this point. The U.S. didn't lose because of that miss. They lost because they were completely outplayed for not just 90 minutes, but 120 minutes. He's not the first, and he won't be the last to miss the target. I don't care what anyone says. Wondo should be an inspiration for all players playing in lower divisions or players sitting on the bench just waiting for their opportunity. He is the ultimate underdog success story. So Chris Wondolowski, Wondo, I salute you. Congratulations on setting the new MLS record for most career goals. Absolute legend.